Like them or loathe them, there's nothing quite like the feeling of conquering a long, intimidating climb. And we can all make improvements at climbing, whether you're already a mountain goat or if you're a huge, muscular beast that looks better suited to playing in the NFL.
Yeah, and in these next 3 sessions, there should be something for everybody to make them a faster climber, or at the very least, a little bit more comfortable.
Improving your climbing is essentially all about improving your power to weight ratio, and that will be linked to your functional threshold power, which is essentially what you can do at a maximum effort of around about 1 hour in duration. So all of these 3 sessions will involve trying to increase that number.
Yeah, many current pros are utilising these sessions to increase that magic FTP number, and they're called over-under sessions. Now they're best done with a power meter, but they can also be done quite easily just on feel.
Yeah, so head out, do a warm-up of 20 to 30 minutes, and then do 5 intervals of 8 minutes each. Now each of those intervals is broken down into efforts of 50 seconds at 90% of FTP, followed immediately by 10 seconds at 130%. On the other hand, if you are going on feel, the 50-second part should feel like the kind of tempo you can maintain for over an hour, and the 10-second part should feel like the kind of effort you'll be making maximum on a 3 to 4 minute climb. Have about 6 minutes of very easy riding between each one, do a 10-minute cool down at the end, and your job's done.
Yeah, these sessions will really help with your ability to change pace and rhythm on climbs, as well as coping with the difference in pitch and gradient.
Sweet spot is something we've talked about many times here on GCN before, and refers to a zone which is just below your FTP. Now the great thing about sweet spot is that it will raise your FTP, but it's not so stressful on your body that you can't do these sessions on consecutive days.
Yeah, this session is an absolute belter. So starting off, 20-minute warm-up, and then you're straight into 3 20-minute blocks. Now within each one of these 20-minute blocks, do a 10-second surge in the saddle every 4 minutes, just to break things up a bit. And then in between each of the blocks, 15 minutes steady riding, followed by a 10-minute warm down.
Now if you're going on feel for these ones, then the main part of each of those intervals should feel a bit less than the sort of pace you could sustain at maximum on a half-hour climb. So you will struggle to hold a conversation, your legs will be burning a little bit, but at all times you should feel like you could go harder if you had to.
If you want to improve your FTP, then the best way to do it is to ride at your FTP. And this next session is an absolute classic.
Yeah, and it is also very simple indeed. Just warm up for 20 to 30 minutes, then do 2 lots of 20 minutes, bang on your FTP, trying to keep as steady a pace as possible throughout each one. Now, if you've got a long enough climb near you, then do these intervals on there. But if not, a headwind makes a pretty good alternative.
Yeah, if you're going on feel, then these efforts should be perceived as, well, pretty blimmin' difficult. Now, the first part of the first interval should feel relatively comfortable, but by the second part of the second interval, you should be at or close to your limit. Then have a nice 10-minute warm down, and your day is done.
High five, mate.
High five.
We haven't actually done it, but high five anyway.
I like high fives.
You should incorporate these training sessions into a well-rounded training program. Don't go overboard with them, and make sure you also factor in rest. But then, done consistently, what you could well find is that you make significant improvements in the space of just a couple of months.
And for a completely different subject, sportive tips in particular, how about clicking just up here? And for our tips on descending and going down hills, just like this, click down there. And to subscribe to GCN, remember, don't click on us, click in that little box, probably just to the left of Dan's shoulder.
Or right, as you're looking at it on the screen.
Yeah. Cheers for that.
That's right, mate.